Hi friends, Emma Reads Crime here, your fellow crime thriller and mystery book lover. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have a week and a half long reading vlog for you all. I'm going to a book signing this evening to go meet Linwood Barclay, one of my favourite crime thriller authors, and also Mark Billingham. I've not actually read any of his work, I'm there for Linwood. And seeing as it's book club a week tomorrow, I thought I'd end the vlog with book club because it's my favourite time of the month, so I wanted to end on a real positive high. And obviously in between the book signing and book club, there'll be other bookish things going on. Book shopping, book reviews, the lot. It is an absolutely gorgeous day today. I really hope that the weather stays like this. I'm going to head out now to the book signing. I shall see you there. The honeymooners are out. They were sleeping by the pond, but they've seen me now. I think they want food, but I have no food for them. We have loads of ducks in the garden and I've given them all personalities just in case you've not seen past videos and have no idea what the hell I'm on about. I have arrived. I'm a bit early because parking here is a nightmare. I'm actually coming to this on my own because no one I know is a Linwood fan or a Mark Billingham fan, so I'm a bit nervous, but I'm sure I'll be fine when I get in there. So basically, Linwood Barclay is the author that got me into crime thriller books. So when I was about 15 or 16, I read his book, No Time for Goodbye, and it absolutely blew my mind. If I was to read that book now for the first time, I'm not sure it would have the same impact, but at the time, I just thought it was phenomenal. So obviously, I've bought my really old, really tatty, very well-loved copy to get signed. I hope he doesn't judge me. With the ticket, I also get a copy of his new book, Whistle, and I'll get that signed too, so that at least will look really nice on my shelf. I was actually a bit sceptical when I heard that he was bringing out a horror book, but I'm about halfway through because I've been reading it on my Kindle, and so far it's absolutely brilliant. I'll keep you updated when I finish it, which will hopefully be very soon. That was honestly so fun. Mark Billingham and Linwood Barclay had such great banter on stage, so it was actually a really funny book signing. Linwood was really nice and he laughed at my copy of No Time for Goodbye. Years ago, he wrote this book called Never Look Away, and the twist in that was mind-blowing. And then a year later, Gone Girl came out, and that had loads of similarities, so I've always wanted to ask him what he felt about that, and maybe I shouldn't have asked that. I think it touched a nerve. I think he was a bit annoyed. Apart from that, it was a really successful evening, and I'm tempted to give Rabbit Hole by Mark Billingham a shot because that's a standalone and he seems like a really nice guy. Hello everybody, excuse the state of me, but the sun is shining, so I thought on my lunch break I would get some much needed vitamin D. Yesterday I finished Kill Your Darlings by Peter Swanson, which is coming out on the 3rd of July. Tom and Wendy have been married for 25 years, and Wendy starts to panic when she realises that Tom is writing a book about their deepest, darkest secret, so naturally she wants to kill him. The story starts at the end, it works backwards in timeline and finishes at the start. Rather than being told in chapters, it's told in dates, mostly split up into years, and for some of the longer dates, some of those sections are split up into subsections. The story starts off with a bang. I really enjoyed the first date entry of 2023. However, after that, I just kind of found the book really slow-paced. And by the time I worked my way through the story and uncovered their deepest, darkest secret, I was a bit underwhelmed, to be honest. What I will say is that I loved the last chapter. It was a classic, cleverly written type of thing you'd expect to see from Peter Swanson. Overall, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't really my cup of tea either, so I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I do feel a little guilty that I didn't love this more. Not only was I super lucky to receive an advance copy, but it's been dedicated and signed as well, so I just feel so terrible. The next book that I'm going to pick up is A Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth, Ware, so I will keep you updated with how I get on. But I think that that's it from me today, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Hello everybody, so I'm in my office today because I've just finished filming a tier ranking thriller authors video, which I probably will have already posted, so if you've not watched that yet, make sure that you check it out. I've made a slight, teeny bit of progress on my office. Would you like to see? So basically what I've done is unpacked my books out the boxes so they look a bit neater. So these are all the books that I've read. These are books that I want to read over Christmas. This is book mail. And then over here we have like books on my TBR. Yes, I know 4 things there, shocker. And then my small Jacqueline Wilson collection, which I've been growing slowly. Last night I finished Whistle by Linwood Barclay. Even though I've got a physical copy, I did read it on my Kindle. And what I will say is I do not recommend reading that book as you're going to sleep because it really is quite creepy. Annie is an accomplished children's author and illustrator, and within a short space of time, 2 massive tragedies hit her life, so she decides to take her son away out the city for a few months for a break. When they arrive at the house that they're staying in for a few months, her son uncovers this unused train track toy, and as soon as he gets it out the box, strange things start happening. I can't remember if I said before, so apologies if I'm repeating myself, but Linwood Barclay is a crime thriller author, and this is his first horror novel, so I was actually a bit skeptical. I had absolutely nothing to worry about. I thought that this was fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. Even though Linwood Barclay is one of my all-time favourite authors, it has been a while since he's written something which has blown me away. Like, don't get me wrong, his past few books, I've mostly found them good, but they weren't good enough that I was saying to people like, oh my god, you need to read them. However, for Whistle, oh my god, you need to read this. I thought it was fantastic. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. I find horror very hit and miss, but I think the fact that a horror book was written by a thriller author, it still had those thriller vibes, and I think that that is why it appealed to me so much. I'm finding a theme with horror books that I seem to like them if they have thriller elements. If you're aware of any thriller horror authors, or if you have any thriller horror book recommendations, please let me know in the comments. That's it from me today. I shall see you tomorrow because I'm gonna go book shopping. Hello everyone, so it's independent bookshop week this week and it's the last day, so I thought I'd bring you to my favourite bookshop. I'll show you now. So this is West Kirby Bookshop, located in West Kirby on the Ware. Honestly, it has like really nice clean aesthetics and the vibes are just amazing. I will show you, come with me. Obviously, I had to treat myself to something. I'm going to be doing a book haul probably next week, so I'm going to be that really annoying person and not show you, so you're going to just have to watch that video. See you all tomorrow, bye! Hello everybody, isn't this weather absolutely glorious? I finished work, I'm waiting for Tim to come home, and I'm just reading still The Woman in Suite 11, which I'm really enjoying so far. I've not read the first book, The Woman in Cabin 10, but this can definitely be read as a standalone. But while I'm here, I just wanted to show you, we've got some teenage ducks. Can you see them? Oh, they were absolutely tiny last month, but they're growing so fast. I think I've scared them off. I feel really bad now. Anyway, they're super skittish and they've run away now. But I also wanted to tell you that last night I started It Should Have Been You by Andrea, which is mine and Michaela's in-person book club pick. And I'm about 10% of the way through and it's so good so far. I'm actually really excited to go to bed tonight so I can open my Kindle and start reading it. Anyway, that's probably it from me for now and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye! Hello everybody, so I'm in the office today and the Tesco by my office does the best selection of books I've ever come across in a Tesco. So let's see what they've got in store, shall we? I feel like the books just go on and on and on. Hoping to pick this up when I go to 66 Books next month. I really love this. It was trashy, but in a good way. I was secretly hoping that they'd have the new Riley Saga in store, but they don't. Never mind, I'm going to be really well behaved and not buy anything. Hello everybody, it's the last day of my vlog. Excuse the state of me, but it is so hot outside. Not that I'm complaining, but no way in a million years am I getting a hairdryer anywhere near my face. It is book club tonight, so I will get changed and make my hair a bit less frizzy, but this is what you're getting for now. Not to be dramatic or anything, but I had a bit of a traumatic moment today. So I had the conservatory door and window open because it gets so hot in there. Came down to make a cup of tea and I look at the conservatory and there was a blackbird in the conservatory shitting everywhere, and I mean everywhere, because it was scared. I managed to shoo it out and it was fine, but I'm so glad that I had the door between the conservatory and the kitchen closed, otherwise it would have gotten in the house and it would have been a nightmare. We keep the duck food in the conservatory, so I don't know if it was the smell of that brought it in, but now I'm so paranoid. All the doors are closed, but now the house is really, really hot. Sorry, I went on a tangent there. Anyway, I finished The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware, which is the sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10. I've not read The Woman in Cabin 10, but I'm going to now. Main character Lo Blackwood is invited to a luxury Swiss chateau, and it is the perfect chance for her to return to work. She is invited by the chateau's owner, a multimillionaire. However, there's some red flags. Things from her past are cropping up, and the owner's mistress asks for her help in escaping. I thought that the book did a good job of filling you in of the backstory with book one without giving away too many spoilers. It was fast paced, there was some good twists in there. Overall, I enjoyed it and I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I'm heading out shortly for book club, and the book club pick was It Should Have Been You by Andrea. Main character Susan sends a gossipy, bitchy text about her neighbour to what she thinks is her sister's, but accidentally sends it to the neighbourhood WhatsApp group. This then causes a chain reaction of loads of different catastrophic events. This was extremely fast paced. Quite a lot of the chapters are only like a couple of pages, so it makes it like so easy to fly through. It was really easy to inhale, and I much preferred it to her last book, which I read, Someone in the Attic. What I think let this down was the ending. So there are twists scattered around, but nothing really blew me away. I felt like it was missing a jaw-dropping, shocking twist. Overall though, I did enjoy it and I gave it 4 stars out of 5. I'm going to bring you along to book club with me and I'll let you know what everyone else thought about it. Hello, so I'm just back from book club. I'm just waiting for the garage to open to park up. And as with last month, I was absolutely terrible at filming inside book club again because I was just having too much fun. It's quite a mixed bag with what people thought of the book. It ranged from 2.5 stars to 4, so I was definitely on the end of liking it more than most people. So that's the end of my reading vlog. Thank you ever so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you're able to hit that subscribe button, it would mean so much to me. Thank you so much. Bye.